All right, you two, we back with another one, man. My voice sounded a little crazy. Don't mind. Got a little glimpse of this cold winter weather out here, so I'm a little under the weather right now. So my voice probably will not sound the best on this video, but just wanted to show y'all real quick what I did to the A300. Most recently, I picked up the OLIGHT, the OLIGHT ODIN S. I was gonna say the Mini because I do own the Mini as well, but I don't know if the video is gonna be able to show it. But pretty much, yeah, man, that's what we got right there, the OLIGHT ODIN S. And as y'all can see, I had to throw a little bit of goon tape on there because this thing comes with the M-block rails, but there's no real way to put a pressure switch on here. It comes with the Picatinny mount, and as you can see, I have Picatinny here, but if I would have set the pressure mount here, it wouldn't have fit. It would have been too long, and not only that, it would have been obscuring my sight, so I wouldn't have been able to see my rear sight through the picture window. I wouldn't have been able to see my front post, so my rear sight would have pretty much been obsolete. It's too high, so I had to do a little bit of modding around and pretty much had to MacGyver this switch on here, the pressure switch, which it doesn't look bad. Like I said, I don't know if the lighting is gonna do. As you can see, it's a pretty clean look to me. I mean, I don't care if it does look rugged to y'all or whoever is watching this. I think goon tape that's the reason why it's made. Grip tape, goon tape, whatever you have at home, you don't need goon tape. But I feel like, yeah, if that's all you have to work with, that's not a bad option because sometimes it comes in handy for stuff like this. So while, yeah, I could have got a M-lock to Picatinny, I've seen some people put it under here or even on the other side. I wasn't really with the whole idea of running wires around because even though this is not a pump shotgun, you know, most people with a pump shotgun that has a light mounted rail, you know, they'll probably wonder, you know, if the pump shotgun will interfere, because that was an issue with my old Mossberg. I had a light on the rail as well, and because of the pump action, I had to take off the wire switch and just leave the regular toggle switch and just press it manually, because when I would go to pump, the wire would interfere. Now that won't happen with this, obviously, because it's a semi, but still, I just feel like I don't really like running wires all around the barrel and stuff like that. It's not like with the AR where you have the pick rails all through. So basically, yeah, man, with shotguns, you got to get a little bit creative, that's all. And as you can see here, this is the pressure switch. You're not going to be able to see it because of the goon tape, but you have your high beam, low beam. As you can see the difference, the high beam is much brighter. And then the low mode again. And then you have the momentary on, where if you press it and don't let go, when you let go, it'll turn off. That works for both high and low mode. Now this does have the strobe mode. I don't know how the strobe mode works. I gotta work on that. I haven't tried out the strobe mode, but this does have strobe capabilities, which I don't really care much for strobe mode as long as the light is bright, and this one is very bright. That's one thing I will say about OLIGHT. You know, it is the better value as far as compared to like other companies out there, and you're actually getting a good quality light. Now, I know what a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, well, you know, OLIGHT, you know, pretty much they catch fire or they blow up. Listen, I've never had an issue with OLIGHT, and I've had plenty of OLIGHTs on all my pistols, AR. Now I got one on my shotgun. I've never had an issue with OLIGHT, and no, I'm not sponsored by them. YouTube, we're not promoting the sales of anything. I don't have anything for sale on this channel. I'm not sponsored by OLIGHT. OLIGHT doesn't pay me to promote their products. I mean, while if the OLIGHT, y'all watching this, man, you know, y'all can send y'all boys some merch, you know, not merch, some you know, some items to review, man. I've had plenty of OLIGHTs. Just watch all my old videos and you'll see OLIGHTs pretty much on all my guns. I've gotten rid of a lot of my OLIGHT products just because I didn't really have use for a lot of them. But in reality, you know, it wasn't because I didn't like them or anything like that. I just didn't really have use for them. And I kind of got rid of a lot of my old guns as bundles, you know what I mean? So I got rid of them with the attachments because at the time I just didn't really need it, and it was kind of obsolete for me to keep it. Now, fast forward, I do have OLIGHT products still, but like I said, man, I think with the shotgun is a must have. Putting the light on your shotgun, especially if you're going to use it for home defense. Now, like I said, I'm still on the fence about an optic because these sights are like really good. The back post sight, you have the little ghost ring, and then you have the fiber optic on the front, as you can see right there. I don't know if the light's gonna catch it, but You got the fiber optic front sight, and it is a pretty high post, and it's very accurate because as y'all know, I already shot this thing. And if y'all seen that video, you already know what this thing did to them targets. It was very accurate. So this is going to be my new home defense setup, man. So that's why I went and threw the OLIGHT ODIN S on there. And this does have dual capabilities. Now, if y'all want to see the box, I know a lot of y'all probably don't care, but I'm a big package freak, man. I like a good packaging. And I feel like with OLIGHT, you also do get a very good packaging. Pretty much that's what it is right there. You got the S1500 max lumens, 250 throw, 250 meters throw light. So pretty much this is dual capable of accepting the rechargeable battery that it comes with. And then you can also put, you know, the CR123s in here as well. I believe it's the CR123s. Let me see. 3500. Trying to read where it says that. Yeah, it offers compatibility with 2 CR123A batteries. So if you ever want to swap out and use non-rechargeables, you could throw CR123s in here, which are the ones that like the Surefires and like the other OLIGHTs accept as well. Now I'm trying to see if I can get this open, but it has like that little magnet effect, and then that's pretty much the box right there. As you can see, it's pretty much get like the regular stuff, like the manual. Obviously I don't got the light in there, but their packaging is pretty much similar to Holosun, as you can see, and pretty much came with all the stuff that you need. You know, I'm not gonna get all into the packaging, but I kind of just wanted to show y'all the type of packaging that you're gonna get with OLIGHT. They do offer really good packaging, and for me, like I said, man, I'm a big packaging freak. I like a good package. I can appreciate a good package, especially, you know, if you spend good money on this stuff. This stuff is not cheap, regardless if it's budget friendly or whatever the case is. It's not cheap, you know what I mean? So it's not just about the item, but it has a lot to do with the good packaging. So like I said, man, OLIGHT, it's not my first rodeo with them. Like I said, I had a bunch of different OLIGHT products that I actually still own to this day, and I feel like I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a light, just something that I know is reputable and is going to work. And I know a lot of y'all, like I said, be talking down on OLIGHT, saying that they products be catching fire. I've never had that happen. I've used a lot of my OLIGHTs at the range and stuff, and never had an issue with them. You know, obviously the light is going to get hot. It's a powerful light. It's going to generate heat. That doesn't mean it's going to blow up or catch fire. Now, if you leave something running overnight, you know, God forbid it does catch fire, obviously you probably left it running way too long. I mean, on an average use duration, you're not going to have a light running for 3 hours straight. You know, we're talking maybe a few minutes at the range and a few seconds at a time when you're shooting, if you want to test the low light visibility, or even if you're doing just a quick test at home and you just want to see like pretty much like the brightness of the light, on how bright it can light up a room. You know, you're only going to leave it on for a few seconds max, you know. So I don't know why a lot of people get crazy about the timers on, you know, how long these lights can stay on before overheating. Like, as long as I can use the light for what I need to use it for, you hear a bump in the night, you need to address something, you know, you hear someone trying to kick open your door, you obviously can't shoot what you can't see. So a good light is good because you can identify your target. I know a lot of people argue against lights, and I think that's more for pistols. But for a shotgun, especially if you're going to use it for home defense, I feel like you should definitely have a flashlight on it if you're going to be using it for home defense. If you're just using it for hunting applications, or, you know, some clay shooting, if you have that advantage wherever you live at, or, you know, dovetail shooting and stuff like that, then it's a different story. You know, you're going to probably be doing that stuff in the daytime anyway, so you probably won't need a light on here. But if your application is going to fit between range and home defense, I strongly recommend a flashlight on your shotgun, especially because, like I said, when the nighttime comes, you know, chances are if you hear something in the night, you're sleeping, your lights are off more than likely. For the average person, all your lights in the house are going to be off. So a good light that can light up the entire house, I think, is great, because, like I say, you just never know what you're going to run into. So 9 times out of 10, I do recommend a flashlight on any of your guns, especially if you're going to use it for, like I said, a nightstand or home defense type weapon. Now, I did see a few people, something else I wanted to talk about real quick, recommend me to try the flight controls, the federal flight controls. So I went and picked those up right here, as you can see, trying to get them in the light. Federal flight controls. These are 00 buck 8 pellet. I heard that a lot of law enforcement, well, I mean, obviously it says law enforcement. A lot of law enforcement use this because you get real tight grouping patterns at, you know, 10, 15, 20, 25 yards out. You know, the group patterns on this are very impressive from what I've read and what I've heard. I also watched a few videos on it, and a lot of people are saying that, you know, these have really good grouping patterns, even at, you know, out to 20 to 25 yards. Whereas though other buckshot might spread a little more, these kind of keep a tight pattern, you know, a tight grouping pattern, so you don't have to worry about the pellets spreading out too far. So I'm going to take them to the range on my next range trip visit, and I'm going to check that out and see how the patterns hold up from 10 to 15 yards. I'm also going to do 5 to 7 yards just because that's like the average training for me. I know a lot of y'all like to do long range. I'll do a little bit of long range as far as like 20, 25. I know that's not really considered long range, but I shoot indoors. I don't have an outdoor range right now at the moment to get to, so I shoot indoors 100% of the time. So I'm doing 5 to 7 yards on a regular just because it's just easier for me and it's more realistic. But I do want to do some 20 to 25 shots tests with the federal flight control, so I am going to try that out and see how good they are, because all the other stuff I shot out of here was really accurate. Like the Winchester 00 Buck, Super X, the federal slugs, the federal super power shocks 1 ounce slugs. It was a bunch of different ammo that I tried to run through here just to see if it'll work. And it cycled everything good. Everything seemed to be pretty much accurate out of the box, but the federal flight controls is the only thing I haven't tried yet. So I definitely want to give that a shot. But yeah, man, like I said, I just wanted to show y'all what it's looking like now. Probably not going to be doing nothing else to it other than the light I just threw on here. Give y'all one more look at it. There you go, man. OLIGHT, ODIN S. Let me know what y'all think about it. Drop a comment down below, man. Like the video, share the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know I haven't said that in a while, man. A lot of times I be getting into the video and I just be forgetting. But I do appreciate y'all for tuning in. If there is anything else y'all want to know, just hit me up in the comments, man. Could never get tired of hearing that. Otherwise, I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Y'all be safe out there.